We're playing Which Comes First today on Your Money, Your Wealth podcast number 551. Retired G-Man and Nurse Ratched from Pennsylvania have saved $2 million. Should they withdraw money first from their IRA or their taxable accounts in retirement? Mike and Carol in Florida want to know when and how much to convert to Roth, but they're also sitting on a mountain of company stock. Should they deal with that first? Mackey in Florida is 55 and wonders if he can retire now with $2.6 million and some lingering debt, but there's an important first he's missing too. Plus, Mike in Utah asks Joe and Big Al to spitball on a plan for his 90-year-old mom's $1.9 million annuity. And Doc McMuffin in Minnesota asks for the fella's take on her plan to gift appreciated assets to her parents. I'm executive producer Andy Last, and here are the hosts of Your Money, Your Wealth, Joe Anderson, CFP, and Big Al Clopine, CPA.
Mackey from Florida writes in, tonight was the first time I saw the podcast and it was very educational.
Wow. I'm guessing that means they were a YouTuber, a Spotify viewer. Thank you for watching, Mackey.
Yeah. Awesome.
I turned 55 next month.
Okay.
No, this email was from June. And want to retire. I have 1.5 in an ESOP and 1.1 in a 401k. I have $200,000 mortgage and $30,000 in credit card debt. What's my best option? I've been working since I was 15. Please advise. Thank you. Wow. Mackey, I could tell that you just watched this show tonight.
Yeah.
Don't really understand the rules of engagement here.
We don't know the drink or the car or the dog's name.
And
we don't have any details.
Zero details. Hey, I got a couple $1 million and 55. Get me the hell out.
Well, he's in $30,000 of credit card debt. How should he pay that off?
What's my best options? He wants to retire. I don't know, Mackey. Why do you have $30,000 of credit card debt? Is that reoccurring? Do you pay that off monthly? Is that a one-time expense?
I'm guessing it's ongoing.
So what do you spend on an annual basis? What are you making currently? That's what's going to determine if you can retire at 55. So what is your best option is I would write back in with a little bit more detail.
But I will say, besides that, assuming you're okay to retire, because we don't know, we don't have any of the details, but let's just assume you're okay to retire, then keep that 401k in place, because you retire after age 55, you can actually withdraw funds from the 401k without paying that 10% penalty. Yes, you'll pay taxes on it, but you don't have to pay the 10% penalty. That's about the only thing I could say. Well, ESOP, a lot of ESOPs, Joe, there's vesting and so restrictions, and maybe you have to take the money out. Maybe you can roll it. So you have to look at the plan and see what the option is there.
Yeah, I think we have a lot more answers or questions than answers.
Yeah, we do. That's about the best I can do with what we have.
And I will point out on the Ask Joe and Al form, there's a video from me that will tell you the information that we need to get you a good spitball. And after you email us, you'll get an email from me that says, did you remember to include these 4 things? So if you didn't, then you're just not paying attention.
Got it.
Well, tonight was the first time. Yeah. I was like, wow, I got to write in.
Yeah, immediate.
Send.
Yeah.
It's immediate. I need to know now. I hate my job. I want to retire tomorrow.
I want to get out.
All right. Well, Mackey, good luck.
I get it.
You've done a great job. He's got a couple $1 million.
It's a really good job.
Yep. 200,000. I don't know. Why do you have? Whatever. I think Mackey will be all right. All right. Let's move on. Let's go to retired G-Man in Nurse Ratched. Ratched?
Nurse Ratched. She was from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. She was the antagonist in that movie.
Oh, there you go.
Who's G-Man?
I think he's a G-Man. He's a retired G-Man.
Or is it like his name's Gary?
He used to be in the FBI.
All right. Or is that a government man? Is that what G-Man actually stands for?
I don't know.
I think G-Man means that he was formerly in intelligence. Let's see.
Got it.
Yes, a slang term for agents of the United States government.
Got it.
Well, I think you got it. Yeah.
Retired G-Man and a nurse.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, hi, Andy. Here's my question. After the 4 things needed.
Oh, so that's
G-Man's been paying attention.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see what he's got. My wife and I have $2.5 million, 1.5 in traditional, $600,000 in mutual funds. All monies are in index funds with Vanguard, with a mix of 55 stock, 45 conservative bonds. Fixed income is $45,000 of pensions, $45,000 combined Social Security, all before taxes. We are both retired, 65 and 64, no debt. We're looking to spend approximately $130 per year with traveling and gifting to the kids. So he wants to spend $130.
Yep.
He's got quite a bit coming in. Shortfall is going to be
Pension, Social Security, 89. Shortfall is about 40,000.
40,000. And he's got 2.5%.
Yeah, I got 2.1. Yeah, 1% even.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I found your podcast on Apple and thoroughly enjoy the good info and humor. Wonderful. Thank you, G-Man. I like to drink a variety of beers, including IPAs, with the side of vodka. Little sidecar.
Yeah.
Do you do that, Joe?
I do the sidecars.
You have your own special
Coors Light
sidecar
and
you like.
vodka?
Not vodka. I like bourbon.
You like Fireball.
I like Fireball. So I'll have Coors Light and a little Fireball. I'm out on a little fancy place.
Spicy.
I might have a Coors Light and maybe some Jameson.
Only Coors Light, though. That's your only beer.
He likes to dress up his beer.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe Mick Ultralight.
Got Bud Light. You'll do Bud Light?
It's very, very. No, I'm not a big Bud Light guy.
PBR?
I would drink a PBR.
Okay. Yeah, you
like
grew up
PBR.
with that. Yep.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
I
Not anything else. Huh?
no colored
Craft beer,
no craft,
IPA,
no IPA,
hazy.
No, that just gives me instant headache.
Yeah.
No, just like that happened to you.
Oh, that Marzan beer that I
Yeah.
I think that was my 50th birthday party or something.
Oh,
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
that.
I think I had to do a radio the next day.
Yeah, you called it sick. I had to do it myself.
So I can't do it.
But we're live.
I remember the one time you still came in and you had a trash can next to you and you said, Al, you're gonna have to talk more than you normally do.
I had the flu.
That's not what I
With
heard.
the sidecar.
It's the flu. That was many, many moons ago.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
And we recorded live back then.
That was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. I've done all my financial planning on my own. All right.
Okay.
From all I read and heard, the preferred sequence of withdrawals is to pull money from my taxable assets and leave the tax deferred for last. I understand the logic for this approach. However, as I learn more, I'm concerned about RMDs in the future, especially should one of us predecease the other. Would it be prudent to start taking IRA money first, approximately $50,000 a year, and leave the mutual funds for last? In my opinion, this may be a better way to reduce future taxes on my RMDs. Your opinion is appreciated. Thank you. I'm a regular listener. I do not want to miss your spitball. Can you email or text me when the question is answered in what episode? Thanks again.
Okay.
He listens all the time, but hey, can you please just email me or text me because I have not listened to this show. And
I listened once. I wrote in. I did it wrong. I got the 4 questions. Here you go.
Yep. Got it. All right. So I don't know. He's reading. He's doing this stuff on his own, and he's a regular listener, and he's asking this question.
Yeah. Probably hasn't listened enough.
Probably not. Probably not.
This is the opposite of what we would tell you to do.
The exact opposite. So you would probably want to, I think that's the advice, though. All right. You want to defer, right?
And that was written by people from my profession, CPAs. Deferring is better than paying. Defer. And that's generally a pretty good idea, except for required minimum distributions. And that happens at age 73, soon to be age 75. That's when you have to take money out of those IRAs and 401ks. And if you kept deferring, then you might have a pretty big required minimum distribution if you did a good job saving. And that's the problem. And in this particular case, there's, Joe, $1.5 million in tax deferred. You want to start getting that money out, whether it's a Roth conversion or using that money to live off of. You start getting that money out so you're not killed by RMDs later.
Because here's the issue that I see with the G-Man and Nurse Ratched is he's taking 2% out of the portfolio total.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got $1.5 million in traditional IRAs, $600,000 in a brokerage account.
Right.
You pull 2. Let's say if it grows at 5, you still have a 4% growth rate. That 1.5 by the time he turns 70, I mean, his RMDs are going to continue to increase on him because he's not taking enough out of the portfolio.
Yeah, if he does what he's read to do, then that 1.5 will be like 3 million.
3 million.
Right? And his RMDs will be
120
120,000 on top of everything else he has.
Yeah, on top of another 90 or 95. So you're looking at 200, 250,
That's right.
225 of income.
That's right.
You're going to be potentially in a higher tax bracket. So
Yeah.
you want to look at the taxes now, taxes in the future, and then figure out, all right, does it make sense? If you want to pull from the mutual funds first, that's fine. But don't leave it deferred.
Right.
Take the money out of the retirement account and convert it, because you're going to be in very low tax brackets there as you're taking money and you're wasting that 10% and 12% tax bracket. That's what we see often, is that's the advice that people are hearing. So they're taking from the mutual funds. They're living off of that. They might have Social Security. You have a little bit higher fixed income than most. You're still in a low tax bracket if you just took from the mutual funds. Your capital gains are going to be tax-free because you're still in the 12% tax bracket.
Right.
I would have the extra distributions that you need, the $40,000 a year, take it from the mutual funds, but then I would also convert the retirement account to the top of the 12 or the 22.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, and Joe, I mean, we've heard this several times where people, they retire and their taxes are very low.
Zero.
Because they haven't taken their Social Security and they're just living off their savings, and they're not pulling money out of their IRA. They're going, what are you guys talking about? There's no taxes in retirement. And then they hit 73, required minimum distributions kick in, and Social Security. It's a different story.
For those of you joining us for the first time, or those who have caught the show but didn't really catch the show, our website, yourmoneyyourwealth.com, is packed with free resources. You can ask Joe and Big Al on air for your own retirement spitball analysis, just so long as you give us your deets. And read the latest blog posts from the Pure Financial Advisors team on topics like alternative investments coming to your 401k, whether U.S. stocks are overpriced, and the rise of AI. See when Pure's free retirement workshops are happening next in your city. Download guides on everything from withdrawal strategies to Medicare, tax planning to Social Security, or binge watch YMYW TV all the way back to 2014. Yep, Joe and Big Al have been making fun of finance for a long time. When I mention free financial resources every week, this is what I'm talking about. Check it out and tell a friend.
We got greetings, Joe, Al, and Andy. Love the podcast. Have listened all the way back since 2019. So far, while driving and working out. Great job on the show. Much appreciated. Love the spitball and how you think about retirement income strategies and Roth conversions. Call us Mike and Carol from Florida.
Brady Bunch.
But they didn't live in Florida, did they?
No, but Mike and Carol, I mean, it
They
seems
lived
like
in
that's...
California. Where was the house? What?
Good question.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think it had to have been California.
Yeah, the house itself is in Studio City in L.A.
I just remember when they went to Hawaii. Remember that?
I don't.
Really? They found the little taboo? Bobby did, or Cindy? One of them?
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh,
one.
well, there you go. Now you got,
I got
something to binge.
Man, Joe watched
I
Little
will
House
do
on the
that.
Prairie and The Brady Bunch. And what was the other show that we just recently found out that Joe watched? Oh, Seinfeld. Your tastes in TV is surprising to me. We're learning new things
Brady
about
Bunch
you
and
all
the
these
Little
years
Little
later.
House.
And that's shifting now.
No.
You don't watch those shows
But
anymore.
no, that was purely my mother.
You were forced to watch it.
Yeah. So if I wanted to watch TV, it was Little House on the Prairie, and my mom was huge
Huge fan of
the Brady Bunch.
yeah, yeah.
So then,
How about the Waltons? Did she watch that?
yeah. Good night, John Boy.
Yeah, all that
Right?
stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. Leave It to Beaver.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I remember that one.
Well, yeah. Eddie Haskell and Beav and
Yeah.
what was
Wally.
Wally?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go. But let's get back to Mike and Carol.
Okay.
He's 56 years old, semi-retired physician, making $180,000 to $200,000 per year, working part-time. I'm divorced, have 3 grown kids, all post-college and well-employed, getting remarried later this year. My beautiful 49-year-old fiance, Carol, makes about $70,000 per year, also has 3 kids from a previous marriage, all fully launched. We are Florida residents, and we will use my beach condo as our main residence. I also have a summer lake home in the mountains out west. Now I get the Mike and Carol reference. He's
Exactly.
got 3.
The
She's
three
got
got
6
3.
kids. They are literally the
Yeah.
Brady Bunch.
Oh my God.
I wonder if the girls are all blonde and the guys are all dark haired.
I don't know. There were 4 men living all alone.
Yeah, that's right.
Until the one day.
Oh, you remember the theme song even?
When Mike met this beautiful 49-year-old Carol.
That's right.
Okay. I drive an older Toyota and Hondas purchased used as Sienna minivan at each home respectively for when the kids, friends, guests visit. My daily driver in Montana, MT, is a 2013 Honda Ridgeline pickup. In Florida, my daily driver is a 2000 Lexus sedan with 44,000 miles on it. P.S. I smile every time I park it in the doctor's parking lot because all the Teslas in European luxury. So he's driving a little POS pickup truck there. My functional and practical vehicle ever. My summer drink of choice is, no idea, Caparina. Help, Andy?
I'm guessing it's Caipirinha.
Caipirinha?
That's what I get to. Probably, yeah. Let's go with that. Caipirinha.
I don't know. This got me intrigued. What the hell is it? It's got to be like a liqueur of some sort.
Let's see.
Is that Campari? No, that's
it's a
not.
Brazilian cocktail with cachaca, sugar, lime, and ice. Let's see, how is it pronounced?
Well, I enjoy almost as much as thinking about Joe pronouncing it on the air. Thank you very much for that, Mike.
Caipirinha.
Caipirinha. He had to pick like the most obscure thing possible.
Probably never drank it. He just was Googling, let's try this one.
Yeah. In cooler weather, I enjoy old fashioned in some Luxardo cherries.
Luxardo. That one's a little bit easier. Luxardo.
Yeah, not for me. Not for me. However, I'm not too picky, and most anything you offer will likely be one of my 3 favorite drinks. All right. He likes free. Got it.
Yeah.
So Caparia, an old fashioned, or free.
Yeah.
Carol prefers a little Chardonnay, no pets, travel too much. Current assets, $1.2 million Florida condo, $2.5 million lake home. Only debt is $300,000 mortgage, remaining at 6%. Combined liquid assets, $300,000 in a brokerage account, $45,000 in an HSA, $1.6 million in traditional retirement accounts, $500,000 in a Roth, and $800,000 vested in an employee performance plan, and $2.5 million privately held company stock with very low cost basis, which I'm planning to liquidate as able, in adding that to the brokerage. No pensions or annuities. I plan to take Social Security starting at $60,000 a year. Carol will receive $20,000 a year starting at $62,000. I intend to work part-time as I am now for another 3 to 7 years. Carol will likely continue her job until I retire, but not a second longer. LOL. I'm putting $31,000 into my pre-tax 401k, an additional approximately $30,000 Megatron annually. For those of you keeping score, that's a little
mega backdoor Roth.
Yeah.
Apparently, Mike and Carol have been listening for a while. Megatron, we haven't referenced that in quite some time.
That's correct.
So after tax, and then dump that right into the Roth.
Yep.
Combined with my company contribution to reach the 415 limit. It's around 70 some odd thousand bucks.
Yeah, 70-ish, somewhere in there.
I did the pre-tax to stay out of the 32% bracket when I was single, but once married, I may do all Roth if you agree, and will be taxed at 24% if I do so. We'll also max out our backdoor Roth IRAs and another $15,000 a year. Carol's work doesn't offer a retirement plan, but I'm investing in IC status.
Investigating.
I'm investigating independent contractor status.
That's what he means.
Yep. All right. I thought he said investing IC status. So she could do a solo 401k.
Right.
All right. We will be into the expansive 24% tax bracket while she is working, and then potentially much lower when we retire in about 6 to 10 years before we start Social Security. We plan on spending $180,000 a year in retirement. Okay, how much 401k would I convert to Roth and when if you were me? After retirement and before Social Security, I could draw the $180,000 needed from traditional accounts in the 10, 12, or 22% tax brackets. I could liquidate the $180,000 from my brokerage with the first $130,000 of gains at 0% tax, but only if I don't take taxable withdrawals from retirement accounts that would push some of the gains into the 15% tax bracket. Interested in your thoughts. Should I alternate years? I want to avoid the 30% brackets in wondering if we can stay mostly out of the 22, 24% in retirement, 0, 10, and 12 for retirement withdrawals or conversions, in 0 to 15% on the capital gains. If so, does it make sense to pay 24% to convert over the next 3 to 7 years while working? Once we're taking Social Security, using the remaining traditional money for income, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So he wants a conversion strategy. He's got some assets. He's going to work a few more years. He's saving quite a bit of money. He's dumping a lot of money into the Roth with the Megatron.
Right.
And so let's just see what we have in store here for Mike and Carol. A couple of things I have questions on. He's got $2.5 million in a privately held stock.
Yes.
Very low basis.
Yes.
So if it's privately held, and he wants to get the stock out of the privately held company, he's going to do that all at once, and it's going to be taxed that year, presumably.
Well, or maybe, some private companies allow you to sell a certain amount of shares per year. So, we don't know the details. So it could be that too.
What do you think?
Well, he said he's going to sell it as he's able. So,
do you think it's just a certain dollar figure, maybe amount each year? There's only some liquidity events within the company?
Maybe. Hard to say. But it's funny how you went right to that. So did I. To me, that's the most important thing in the whole case. You look at the private company stock, $2.5 million, compared to his liquid assets, 5.7, which, by the way, is fantastic. Great job saving. But that's 44% of your net worth. That's a lot. To me, that's the biggest consideration here, is diversifying, getting out of that, because private companies, sometimes they keep doing well, sometimes they don't, right? And this is almost half of your net worth, or at least liquid net worth, tied up in this one stock. So I would be more concerned about liquidating it as you could. Roth conversions are still quite important, Joe. I mean, he's already got 1.6 million. He's only 56. I mean, that could double twice.
Right. Because if he could get the $2.5 million out, you could live off of the non-qualified dollars.
Right.
And then you do the conversions in the 10 or 12% tax bracket.
I think that's right, too. I think that's the priority, is trying to get diversified in the private company stock, really.
Yeah. Or you pull out. But that's where he's made most of his money, though, too.
I know.
He's got very low basis.
Right.
I would imagine it's
and
very low.
There's a reason why he's got this much money, because he picked the right company. So I get that too. But all I'm saying is, sometimes what makes you wealthy is not what keeps you wealthy throughout retirement. Just think about this. If that $2.5 million, something happens to the company, and I've seen that happen before. That's why I'm bringing this up. If something happens to the company and this $2.5 million goes down to a lot lower figure, does your lifestyle change? And it probably does, right? So you got to consider that.
Well, all right. So let's see how much it would change, because he wants to spend $180,000 a year in retirement.
Yeah. Well, if you take that out, you're looking at about, let's say 3.2 million.
He needs $4.5 million at $180,000 at a 4% distribution rate. He's got to bridge the gap to Social Security. Social Security's going to give him what, $80,000. So he needs 100.
Yeah.
So he needs 3.5. Call it. That's including tax. So if he loses 2.5, he's going to be tight.
It's going to be pretty tight.
Right.
Yeah.
The double home in Montana, all these little minivans in the Caporari, whatever the hell he's drinking. He's going to have to go
fancy
to
drinks.
a party.
Yeah.
Just to suffice that. But yeah, or that 2.5 could go to 5 easily.
It could. Yeah.
But I think you would, if there's certain dates or trigger dates when you can sell the stock, or who's buying it, or the, the employees of that particular company, the principal's buying it back. Is there, some sort of capital partner involved that is buying some of the stock back? I would try to be thinking about a distribution or liquidation strategy within that, where you feel comfortable, because that's your liquidity to live off of while you do all sorts of other tax planning. because he's going to get bit hard on the tax on that too. He's got
Right.
net investment income tax. He's
That's
going to
right.
have capital gains tax.
Right.
It's going to push him up depending on how he gets that money out. I mean, so I think that's probably a bigger problem that he has than doing a Roth conversion. We talk about conversions all the time, but this is almost like a big retirement account.
Right.
It's almost his taxes high just because he's stuck with a high capital gains rate depending on how much that he has to pull out.
Right.
He could be taxed at 20% plus the net investment income tax, call it 25% plus state. Well, he lives in Florida, so no state.
Yeah.
So he's in the 25% roughly tax bracket where he's thinking about converting in the 24. He potentially would pay more tax on that stock than he would from his retirement accounts.
But that's the thing. If something happens to the company, then
Then he doesn't pay any tax.
Then-
So, I don't know what's better.
it's true.
It's zero.
Well, I'll tell you. So and we're sort of discounting talking about Roth conversions. We're sort of focused on the private company stock. Yes, Roth conversions for sure. You got 1.6 million and you're only 56. So the rule of 72, 7% interest rate, it's going to double every 10 years. So it could be like $6 million when you retire. 4% of that is kind of the beginning RMD, and then it goes up from there. So what, 240,000 would be your RMD on top of all your other income. So yeah, no, it's a big deal. But if it were me, I would be a little bit more concerned about the private company stock having a distribution liquidity that's within the bounds of the company, what they allow you to do, so you can diversify more, take some of that off the table. I get it may go up to 5 million or more. I get that, but it also could go down to 500,000. I've seen that enough times. That's why I'm saying this. Just be a little bit careful. But on top of that, when you get that settled, by all means, I would be converting into the 24% all day. And if you sell some of the stock, you'll have more cash to pay the taxes on the conversion. So that would be another benefit there.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm 100% on board with that because he wants to retire in 7 years. He's continuing to save $70,000, even though he's doing the Megatron. He's in a high bracket now, so he's adding a lot of money to the pre-tax. But then from age, call it 65 to 75, that's 10 years that he wants to spend 180,000.
Right.
And
well, but he's in the same tax bracket then as now, because that's what he's making currently. So
no, I agree.
You could say maybe to the 22. I like the idea of Roth conversions. I just would focus more on the private company stock, diversifying if it were me. Now, that's not knowing anything about the company. So I'm kind of talking about this blindly in a sense, right? But I've just, like I say, I've seen this happen to others. So I just want you to be careful.
Yeah. And I think your conversion strategy coincides with the distributions of the private company, because then you have to map this thing out depending on what the tax is going to be on that.
Right.
Like he said, you don't want to take retirement distributions on depending on how much money that he can get out of that private company.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's just going to, potentially increase his capital gains rate.
Right. I think I do agree with his thinking, which is you kind of do one or the other.
Right.
Yeah.
And you flip-flop every other year?
Maybe, depending upon when you can sell and what makes sense to sell. I think you kind of focus on one or the other.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of mapping that you would want to do. I think he's got a really good problem to have. He got $6 million. He's got a pretty big, he's got some tax issues.
Yes.
But I think at the end of the day.
Oh, I think we'd all love to have this problem.
Yeah, Mike and Carol and the Brady Bunch, Greg.
Yep, Marcia.
Bobby. Peter.
I forget the other girls' names.
Jan.
Jan.
Cindy. Yep.
I remember Cindy now.
Yeah, Jan's the middle one.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Remember, she lost her locket.
Marsha.
Got it. Okay.
You've heard the saying, no regrets, right? Something we all aspire to. Unfortunately, plenty of retirees do have regrets, big ones. On this week's episode of Your Money, Your Wealth TV, Joe and Big Al show you how to avoid the 10 most common retirement mistakes so you can retire happy and regret-free. You'll even hear real retirees' reflections on everything from lending money to fighting boredom. Get the wisdom of the ages without having to learn it the hard way. Then find out if you're on track for retirement with a financial blueprint. This tool is a free and self-guided check-in to see how you're doing as you head down the path to retirement. Just input your cash flow, assets, and projected spending, and you'll get a personalized report showing 3 scenarios for your retirement success, with clear next steps to improve your plan. Watch 10 big retirement regrets to avoid on YMYW TV and calculate your financial blueprint for free. The links are waiting for you in the episode description.
All right, let's keep it trucking. Let's keep this train going here. We got let's see, Mike from Utah. Hello, I'm a longtime listener and enjoy your podcast. First, the important stuff: drink of choice. My wife, Tito's, and mixer. Me, Diet Coke and cheap rum. All right. Cars. My wife, 2024 C8 Corvette.
Wow.
Wow, that's kind of badass.
Yeah.
Me, 2023 Chevy Bolt. Okay. Got it. So she drinks Tito's and drives a Corvette, and he's drinking
Cheap rum and drives a
a
Chevy electric
Chevy
vehicle.
Bolt.
He's,
That's great. I love
okay.
it. No pets, although we dog sit my son's Dalmatian Doodle.
Dalmadoodle.
Dalmadoodle,
puppy. Got everything is a doodle. No,
which I have to say, they're pretty darn cute when you mix a poodle and a
they are
Dalmatian.
cute. I never even heard of that kind.
Everything
me either.
is a doodle.
Well, we've got a Cavapoo, which is a Cavalier poodle.
Yeah. Everything's a doodle. The world is going to be taken over by doodles.
I think so. Yeah. It's not AI.
It's not AI. Yeah. Look at this. It's a Dalmatian doodle. Dalmadoodle.
Yeah.
To have a Dalmadoodle?
Dalma. Yeah.
Dalmadoodle. Yeah.
How about like a pit bull doodle? Pit bull.
That might mellow out the pit bull. Maybe be kinder.
All right. 2022 or 2002, my father passed away and I became more involved in my mother's estate. At the time, she had $145,000 in extra cash to invest in the market. She did not need the money to cover day-to-day expenses, so we thought of a long-term investment approach that made sense. We also working at the time and did not have a lot of time to keep close enough eye on her investments in addition to ours. So we decided to purchase a variable annuity invested in an S&P 500 primary to defer the taxes, set it and forget it for the next 15 to 20 years. Seemed to make sense at the time. Well, at that time, I'm not sure I understood the concept of step up in cost basis of a taxable account when it is inherited, or I might have selected a different path.
Sure.
So he dumped it in the old variable annuity.
Yeah. And
Mike.
I guess, I guess you'll read further.
Yeah, it's just going to grow tax deferred. It's great.
Probably did pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that insurance company loved it too. That
Yeah.
agent was super happy. Probably bought you a little bottle of cheap rum. I knew we would have to do something with the annuity. You know, she approached 90 years old. Wow.
Okay.
That's some longevity there.
Wow. Okay.
In October 2025.
Sure.
The contract states we have to annuitize the contract or close it before she turns 95. Annuitizing the contract does not seem like a good option to me. Well, the good news is the count grew to $1.86 million by late 2024 before I started to make some change. Wow.
That's amazing.
$145,000 grew to $1.86 million?
In 23 years?
What's the rate of return on that?
That's a lot. I mean, that's beyond, maybe they added more at different points. That can't be. That'd be what?
How many years? 26 years?
Call it 23.
23 years. Zero.
That's got to be 12, 15%. 10%.
That's not bad. That's right.
Yeah. It was.
That's compounding for you.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, 10% rate of return over the yeah.
Okay. Well, it was a bull market in S&P for.
Yeah, the market actually did a lot more than that.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool. Okay, so now he's got a little bit of an issue here. He's got $1.86 million. Mom's 90 years old. He's got to annuitize the contract. He's got a basis of $175,000.
Yeah.
So there's
145, wasn't it?
145.
Yeah, $150,000.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
So
It's a lot of tax in there.
Yeah, he's got $1 million.
And it's all ordinary
It's
income.
all ordinary income.
Jeez. No step up.
No step up.
Investors,
Okay.
basically.
He's in a bit of a panic.
Now I see why.
Has set in is she now within 5 years of having to do something with this money in 2024 and already in 2025. I've started to sell some of these funds and move them to a brokerage account and take the tax hit. The future IRMA charges each year, basically $200,000 across both years, with the goal of taking her taxable income to the top of 24% federal tax bracket, 4.5% state tax bracket. This strategy will slowly reduce the value of the annuity, but not really make much of a dent in the value, especially if the market continues to move higher. I plan to continue to do this for the next 3 to 4 years, but realize some large changes have to happen very soon. For context, as of June 2025, her account balance are Roth 1.3, taxable 275,000, IRA 290,000, annuity 1.6 million. Her Social Security, RMD, and the small pension pretty much covers her current living expenses. Annual expenses are approximately $60,000 a year. Eventually, her estate will be inherited by myself and my 2 siblings. All of us are in the 22-24% federal tax bracket. All of us are retired or near retirement in our early 60s. Any other options I should consider would be much appreciated. I enjoy listening to the podcast while hiking, skiing in the Utah mountains. He's skiing? Listen to this garbage? Who listens to a podcast while they're skiing? Is that like cross-country skiing?
You don't you have to pay attention when you're skiing?
I've never skied. One time.
I have skied, and I always pay pretty close attention because you know why?
You hit a
There's
tree.
rocks and trees and other people.
Well, I guess he's not paying attention to us. And
Wow.
man, so this is an interesting case here.
Well, let's talk about this. So at age 90, so if she annuitized, I guess that means she'd take an income stream for the rest of her life. But if she dies, does that mean it goes away?
She could do, I don't know. I would have to look at the contract.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know if there's any residual for beneficiaries or
you
not.
could probably do a period certain,
May-
20 years.
Okay, if that's an option.
Right.
Yeah.
And then so you annuitize the contract, and let's say if you do 20 years and it comes out in 20 years, and at least you get the pro rata because
You get the
you get a little bit of the basis,
which
but
is not much.
little,
I mean,
10%,
right.
90%,
Not even
whatever payment
quite
is going to be
10%.
taxable.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's not a bad idea. So if they can do that as some certain, then they'll get the money, and of course they'll pay taxes on it, but it'll be little chunks.
Yeah, you just spread that out over a period of time, unless something happens to the contract at age 95 where
They have to close out the rest, maybe, and the rest of it comes out.
I don't know. I mean, each contract is
It's
so
different. It's
interesting and
hard to
unique.
say. Yeah.
But all right, there's 2 things. That would be my first option to say, all right, well, let's say if I annuitize the contract, how far can I annuitize the contract?
Yeah, for some
Can I,
certain.
yeah, for
Be very clear about
a
that.
period certain, not life only.
Yeah, right.
If you do life only,
And she dies next year. It's
so
yeah.
a period certain. Let's see how far that you can drag out those payments. And if he can do so after the age 95 is kind of my first guess. But let's say if he has to get everything out of there before she turns 95 in 5 years.
You just have to grin and bear it. You have to get it out.
Yeah, right. There's is she charitably inclined? Is there?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some charity.
Could potentially, but yeah. So they'd have to pull out 300,000 a year or more to make this happen.
And that pushes her above the 24% tax bracket.
Sure does. Yeah.
Maybe she can get married.
Now you're going outside the box.
Yeah, that could increase her. Those tax brackets.
She could move to Florida, so she didn't have state tax.
Yeah.
And get married in Florida.
That's probably not going to happen.
Nope.
Let's see what else.
I think you're right. I think you're right. It boils down to what's allowed in the contract. I think your idea is perfect. If you can get a period certain for like 20 years. So in other words, if she passes away, then the beneficiaries, you and your siblings, get to continue on the payment through that 20-year period. So say she lives 5 more years, then 15 more years, it'll come to you as a payment stream. That's how that would work if it's allowed in the contract.
Yeah. So then you just have you and your 2 siblings as the beneficiaries. So then those payments would get split 3 ways when she passes.
Right.
You and your brothers and sisters, which wouldn't, it would still be a tax hit, but maybe it would be a lot lesser.
Yeah.
But it depends on who's in the 22 and who's in the 24. The person in the 22% tax bracket is going to get more after-tax dollars.
Yeah. Right.
But maybe you put them at a lower percentage so it all evens out from an after-tax perspective.
Maybe. Yeah.
It's kind of getting to the nitty gritty there.
Right. But
this is a problem with annuities.
right.
Another
That's what I was
issue
going
with
to
this
say. We hardly ever talk because you usually don't see these go up that much.
Right. And then from a 90-year-old of like, all right, now what the hell do I do with this?
Yeah.
Set it, forget it. It worked out well from a rate of return perspective.
Great.
But they're going to lose 20, 30%,
Yeah.
to tax.
At least, yeah.
So, I mean, the good news is that, hey,
they got something to,
you got something to lose.
You get to keep 70%.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. You're tied up, you're locked up, the fees, the cost, and everything else. I mean, there's a lot of better options. Not saying, hey, let's go back 20 years and buy something different or do a different investment.
No.
I think he realizes that it worked out. Now you have to pay the piper, but hopefully you can just pay it out slowly.
Yeah, but I'll say for our listeners and viewers out there, so a better way would have take the $145,000, put it in an S&P 500 in a brokerage account. It grows over time. You never have to sell it. She never has to sell it. Can keep it and sell whatever she needs at certain points if she needs the income. Keep it in the account. Don't do anything. She passes away. There's a full step up in basis, so the next generation gets it, can sell it the next day and pay no tax. That would have been the preferred way. I think Mike realizes that now. But just if you're thinking about doing this in a similar situation, it may not be your best choice.
All right. Enjoy the slopes. Skiing in Colorado. When does it start snowing there? Soon, probably, huh? November?
Utah, isn't it?
Oh, Utah.
Utah. Same idea, though. Probably November, I'm guessing.
All right. You'll be here before you know it, Big Al.
Yeah, that's right.
We got Doc McMuffin from my home state of Minnesota.
There you go.
Hey, Joe, Al, Andy, you guys are the best. And this is my favorite finance podcast. Thanks for all the spitballing and laughs. I'm a 41-year-old from Minnesota, and Mr. McMuffin is an engineer.
And
I'm
she's
still
a doctor.
drinking. Oh, I'm a 41-year-old doctor.
Yes, that's
What
why
did I
she's
say?
Doc McMuffin. You just said she's a 41-year-old.
Skip the word doctor.
Oh, so she's a doc and he's an engineer.
Yeah.
That must be a fun cocktail hour.
I wish I knew them. I could have a drink with them in Minnesota.
Well, there you go. She likes to drinking a little Chardonnay and IPAs. Mr. McMuffin is still drinking funky, weird sour beers.
Sour beers.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like that either.
All right, you just got a new 2025 GMC Sierra, and I'm still driving my 2012 CRV. All right, so we got questions about gifting brokerage account assets to my parents.
Okay.
So they're gifting up.
Gifting up instead of down.
Yeah.
Gifting up a generation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know all about that.
Like it.
Mr. McMuffin and I have an annual combined W-2 income of $650,000, so solidly in the 35% tax bracket, plus Minnesota income tax. My parents are 73 and have about $84,000 in retirement income annually between their Social Security and pensions. Plus, this year, add an extra $10,000 in RMDs. We want to gift them $75,000 to remodel the family cabin that they own. $75,000 keeps us under the gift tax reporting limit since there are two of us and two of them. You want to explain that real quick, Big Al?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the way it works is you can actually give to anybody that you want to $19,000 a year. That's what's true in 2025. And that gets indexed for inflation. So in other words, Doc can gift to mom and dad 19,000 each, and so can Mr. McMuffin 19,000 each. So in this case, two people are giving to two people, so that's 19,000 times 4, which if you're keeping track, as Joe, is about 76,000. So she's right, 75,000 is under that limit.
All right, 75 keeps us under that gift. But even if she gave 100,
yeah. So here's how that works.
It's not the end of the world.
No, what happens is you have to file a gift tax return, and all that happens is you get a little bit less credit against estate taxes, which right now it's what are we now? 14 million each? 14, 15 million
a big
each.
number. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the big beautiful act changed that just a little bit. But anyway, roughly $30,000 you can gift or not gift, you can pass to the next generation if you're a married couple without any estate tax. So so all that would happen if you gave $100,000, that would be, call it 30,000 over the limit. Just
How many
for
people do you think actually files a gift tax return?
Not many, but
How many did you do in your days of taxes?
not too many. Usually no one tells you,
Right.
but you're supposed to.
Got it.
Yeah.
The honor system.
The honor system, which is true of a lot of our taxes.
Yes. All right. $75,000 keeps us under the gift tax reporting. Since there are two of them, we are planning to give them $75,000 of our most appreciated brokerage account assets, all invested in the S&P 500 index fund, with the $35,000 the basis and $40,000 the gain. I figure we can give the index funds from our brokerage to theirs. They sell them, pay the 15% capital gains, as opposed to our 23.8 capital gains, plus the Minnesota capital gain taxes, and then use what's left for the remodel. I don't think this screws them up for their Social Security taxability since they are already at the max.
Okay.
And I think it keeps them under IRMA increases because they'll still be under $212,000 for their annual income. All right. It ends up saving close to $5,000 in taxes to have them sell the assets rather than us, right? Am I missing something? Furthermore, is it crazy to think this is set up? Hold on. Is it crazy to think this is set up we should keep using?
I think she's missing the setup we should keep using.
Yeah, I think you're right, Andy.
I'm just reading what is written.
I know, yeah.
And it
I
makes me
think she's
sound
missing the word
like
the.
but it makes me sound like I cannot read. So I get
I
that.
don't think she did it on purpose just to trip you up, but maybe.
I don't think so either.
Like keep gifting them our appreciated brokerage assets, keep it under the gift tax reporting limit, then they sell at their capital gains rate, and then they gift it back to us. Is that a thing?
I like your accent.
Yeah, a Minnesota accent.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks so much for all you do. You guys rule. Cheers. Doc McMuffin.
You guys rule.
Awesome. Very good. Well, first of all, Joe, it's completely fine to gift assets to anyone you want to, like we just talked about.
Sure.
And when you gift assets, by the way, here's what happens is whatever your tax basis is, the person that receives the assets, that's their tax basis. So in this particular case, your parents receive the assets, they sell the assets, they pay the capital gains at their rates. No problem. By the way, the $75,000 gift is not a taxable event. It's just a transfer of a gift. What is taxable, though, is the $40,000 capital gain, but it's taxed at the parent's rate, which is lower. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's a really good strategy if you want to get money to your kids or your parents, in this matter, to get
the only thing that's a little bit unique here is that they're gifting up instead of down.
Yeah,
right?
usually it goes the other way.
And
But
then
yeah,
if you gift down, so this was a strategy is like, all right, well, here, I'm going to give it to my kids. They're in a low tax bracket, or maybe they're teenagers and they don't have a tax bracket.
Yeah.
And then so they had to come up with the kiddie tax
Correct.
to avoid that strategy of people gifting down, having their kids sell it at zero capital gains rates and then giving it back.
it's true. So because of the kiddie tax, you can give to your adult children, but not your
But you
minor
can give to
children.
your parents all day long. There's no daddy tax or
Yeah.
granny daddy tax.
No, nothing like that. Maybe there should be. I don't know, but there's not. So whether you can sort of keep doing this and do a little gift and then they sell it and gift it back, I wouldn't do that. I mean,
Save a couple bucks.
not that the IRS is going to catch you, but if they're
The honor system. No.
honor system, I'm honorable. Because here's the thing. If there's a reason for you to make a gift and then your financial situation changes, there's a reason for them to make a gift back to you. Totally fine with that. But if you're just doing this to reduce taxes, I wouldn't do that. That's sort of going beyond the spirit of the law.
All righty. There it
That's
is.
my opinion.
Papa Al. And I think that's all we got for today.
All right.
So that's it, folks.
Another amazing show.
Another amazing show in the books. We'll see you next time. This is Your Money or Wealth.
Next week on YMYW, should Dan in Florida contribute to his Roth 401k or do Roth conversions? Should Fired Up in Chicago contribute to his Roth 401k or pre-tax accounts to go fire and leave his kids a pile of cash? Big Wallet Barbie and Ken need a Roth conversion and a home purchase strategy, and the fellows address a few of your comments. This is Your Money, Your Wealth, Your Podcast. If you get a kick out of the show, share it. Your financially savvy or not so savvy friends will thank you. Subscribe on YouTube and join the fun in the comments, and leave your honest reviews for Your Money, Your Wealth in Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, CastBox, Good Pods, or any other app that accepts them. Your Money, Your Wealth is presented by Pure Financial Advisors. To go beyond the spitball and begin crafting a real plan for your retirement, schedule a no-cost, no-obligation, comprehensive financial assessment with Joe and Big Al's team at Pure. Click or tap the free financial assessment link in the episode description or call 888-994-6257. Meet in person at any of our nationwide offices or online from your couch. The Pure team will work with you to create a detailed plan tailored to your unique retirement goals. Pure Financial Advisors is a registered investment advisor. This show does not intend to provide personalized investment advice through this podcast and does not represent that the securities or services discussed are suitable for any investor. As rules and regulations change, podcast content may become outdated. Investors are advised not to rely on any information contained in the podcast in the process of making a full and informed investment decision.